Hello, my name is Allison Carmen, and welcome to my podcast, 10 Minutes to Less Suffering. And the name of today's podcast is 3 Daily Decisions That Lead to Your Happiness. I've talked about many of these ideas on previous podcasts, but sometimes I find it's really interesting to put some of them together for daily practices. And what's so interesting about this idea is that all day long we're actually making many decisions, but there were 3 ways of making decisions, 3 perspectives, 3 ways of looking at everything you decide all day long that will really determine your level of peace, joy, happiness. And what they are is the decision to see what you don't have or what you do have, your decision to focus on things you can control in your life and things you can't, and your decision to hold on to the past or to let it go and be fully present and open to all that's possible. Now, it sounds so simple. Of course, why wouldn't we all do this? But all day long we are faced with unexpected events, things that make us uncomfortable, things that we don't like, things that disappoint us, things that hurt us. And as our day is moving forward, these things can make us feel negative, upset. They could throw us into despair. They can make us believe that our life is not going our way or we won't be okay. And ultimately, that is the basic fear, that we are not okay and we can't have the life that we want. So as we break this down, it's very interesting. And sometimes if I know I'm going to have a really busy day and there's a lot going on, which means there's a lot of unexpected things that are going to happen, or I know that I'm going to feel uncomfortable at moments, I'll actually keep this list in front of me. Yes, I always have my maybe cards and I'm always thinking about maybe, but I also have a list with 3 things on it. And I put on the top my 3 biggest decisions of the day. And what I label number 1 is, am I looking at what I have or what I don't have? And why that's so important is when you have a problem or something is not going your way, if you're not remembering the resources, if you're not remembering what you do have, you could actually start to feel like you're sinking, especially when there's a problem. So it's so important, whether you're in business or you're dealing with a situation with your children or friends, whatever you're looking at, to always ground yourself, anchor yourself in what do I have? And as you anchor yourself in that, you could look at your problem through that lens. And sometimes your problem is big and it's not related to anything, and the perspective will be something broader. You have your health, you have the things you love, and sometimes something could happen that is so big and so unexpected that it's going to take a lot more than these 3 daily decision-making items. But most of the time, things that are happening throughout our regular days are minor things, but they take us from a place of joy to a place of misery, from a place of peace to a place of stress. So just look at the lens, whether you have to look at the lens of your total well-being or a lens of a particular work project or even in a relationship. Just remember all you have. It's just a perspective to look at it and know that you're okay and know that you have the ability to figure things out. It comes down to, just because you're uncomfortable and just because unexpected things happen doesn't mean you're not going to be able to figure it out. So it's just a place to stand. What are your resources? What's working? And when you stand from that place, you'll have more joy, you'll have more peace, and you'll have more ground to solve what you need to solve. Now, the second piece is what you can control and what you can't control. Sometimes something will happen to me at work, and I am very clear, I did not expect it. I don't like it, but there's nothing I can do about it. It was not my fault. It has to do with the markets. It has to do with insurance companies, whatever it is. There's nothing I can do about it but report it in and say this is happening. And so if I sink because of it, then I'm just making myself stressed for no reason. And if I realize that it's not in my control, I shore up quicker. I find my way back quicker. And I say, well, what can I control? And I could sit with it with a sense of peace, which makes me more creative, which puts me more in maybe, which makes me look in the future and say, I have to be open to what's possible to solve this. So always look when something's happening in your life. It is out of your control. There is nothing you could do about it. And you have a right to your feelings. You could feel sad. You could feel stressed. That's your choice. But at some point, your life will be happier, more joyous, more productive, more creative if you focus on the things that you can control and you realize that there are certain things you just can't. And the quicker you accept it and the quicker you make peace with it, the quicker you relax your body and open up, the easier it will be to move forward. Now, the last piece is when we're fixated on the past and we're not present, because in the present is where we create our future. It's sometimes really hard to let go of things that have caused us pain, that have caused us hurt, that it's a process. But there comes a time where it is what it is. It comes a time where you can't keep arguing, why did this happen? This shouldn't have happened. Sometimes I'll think to myself, well, this should have happened because it did. Or again, I think about the solid wall. I can't reach something that no longer exists. I can't reach yesterday. And then I have a deep yearning inside of me to create a beautiful life. And I know in this moment is where it happens. We create our future in this moment. And anything that happened before this moment, other than the wisdom I collected, will not serve me. And if I can't let go, sometimes I use the maybe practice. Maybe everything is the way it's supposed to be. Maybe my future is filled with infinite possibilities. Maybe there are many ways to be okay. Maybe I'm still okay. And I think that's one of the reasons we can't let go of the past. Sometimes we feel hurt and pain and we need to process it, but sometimes we're just afraid we're not okay. We're afraid that the things that are happening in our lives in this moment makes us unsafe and will not lead to a better life. And you cannot know that. Don't hold on to the past because you think it was better, because you can't know. And don't hold on to the past because you think you know it should have been a different way, because you can't know that. All you know is who you are in this moment, with the hope and possibility that you could still have the life that you want. All you know is who you are in this moment for you to experience all that's possible. And when you are present, you will experience everything this moment wants to give you. And if you stop judging it and you stop thinking you know better than life, you will open your eyes and you will see there is more in front of you than you could have ever imagined. And you will see that you can't know the future. And because you can't know, life can change, and it can change in ways that you will love, that will benefit you, that will give you new experiences. So you could do this. You could list it every day. My daily decisions that lead to more joy, happiness, and success. Am I coming from a perspective of lack or abundance? For what I have, is that my lens? My resources, all the blessings, all the wonderful things. And I will use this lens to deal with my problems, deal with the things that make me uncomfortable, deal with the things that upset me, and find a way to get through it, find a way to have peace. Am I focusing on what I can control and what I can't control? And again, you could have all the feelings you want, but at some point your thought and actions will matter. And the quicker you could accept what you can't control and focus on what you can, you will have more joy and happiness and abundance in your life every day. And then presence, also again, we create our future in the present. We live in the present. Our joy, our abundance, our opportunities, everything that's beautiful and sacred and precious is right before you. But we have to be willing to let go of what no longer exists, let go of the past, process our feelings, and know that the unknown future offers us infinite possibilities. So keep that list by you, because if you do this all day long and you think about this all day long as things are coming at you, as problems, disappointments, unexpected things, if you always think about these 3 daily principles for decision making, you will have more happiness, you will have more joy, you will have more peace. And you will always remember that maybe the best is yet to come. Thank you for listening to this podcast today. If you'd like to get in touch with me, you could email me at allison@allisoncarmen.com. If you'd like to buy my books, The Gift of Maybe or A Year Without Men, They're available at all major bookstores and online retailers. And if you like to buy my new audiobook, it's available on all major audio platforms. And remember my maybe cards, which is an amazing way to practice the maybe mindset. And also there's a digital maybe journal is available on Amazon, Etsy, Instagram, TikTok, on my Stan store. They are so beautiful, and what a great way to keep letting go of your stress and worry and embracing all that's possible. And if you like this podcast, I hope you subscribe and leave a comment.